My name's Emma. I am 19 years old, and my first experience at Rise Church was in 2013 when I was going through a lot of stuff in my life. I was involved with a really bad friendship group. My dad was going through cancer, and I didn't have a relationship with God at the time. Even though I grew up in church, I knew who God was and believed He could do miracles and stuff, but I just didn't think that was for me, and it was for my family and for my friends. And so with my good friends, I left them because I wanted to be popular and I wanted to fit in and just be a normal teenager in my world of chaos. The reason why I first started coming to Rise Church was I got invited by a family friend at her birthday party, where I met a lot of incredible people from this church that actually genuinely cared about me for who I was and didn't judge me based on the situations I was going through. My dad actually at the time pushed me to come. He knew I had bad experiences with other youth ministries, but he said that he wanted me to actually give this one a shot, and that I needed to actually do this for myself, but also do that for him. After coming to Rise Youth for 2 weeks, my dad actually passed away from the cancer he was battling through, and if I wasn't actually connected into that youth ministry, I don't know where I'd actually be today. I think, God really guided me to this place because He knew I was going to need it through that tough time. And it was just a few weeks after he passed away, around Easter time actually, that I felt the love of God for the first time in my life. My heart was racing, and I had this really strong sense of peace that I hadn't had when my dad passed away. And in that moment when Pastor Tim asked us if we wanted to make a decision to follow Jesus, I knew that that was for me, that this peace that I had in my life, that this joy that I felt was actually from God. At the time when my dad passed away, I was a few weeks away from turning 15 years old, so I was quite young, and I think because I was so young, I became really prideful and stubborn, and I didn't give myself a chance to really take it in and have feelings about it. I think I'd blocked out everything because I felt that weight and responsibility of being the eldest child in that situation. No matter what I did, it didn't stop him from dying. That no matter how hard I prayed, it didn't stop that from happening. And I had my eyes open that I was trying to control things because I didn't want them to hurt me. I always regretted that I didn't do enough with my dad, that I didn't always say the things I wanted to say to him. I didn't tell him how I felt about him. I didn't appreciate everything he did for me, and I didn't actually spend enough time with him. And because I found it so hard to live with that I couldn't change the past, and I couldn't actually go back and recreate those moments and change my actions. I tried to control everything around me because I didn't want to get hurt by my bad decisions again. I finally come to the realization that I actually don't have control over everything in my life, and that's okay because God has control over it, and I'm able to just trust Him with that and be okay with the fact that He knows what He's doing, and that I can trust Him with my life and know that just because this bad thing happened to me and happened to my dad, it doesn't mean that God caused it. And he didn't receive the miracle here on earth, but he received it in heaven, and it feels so peaceful knowing that he had a relationship with God, and that he's experiencing life now, even when he had a real struggle here. When my dad passed away, he left all my family members letters each about things he loved about us and things he wanted to say to us. And so the last thing I kind of have from my dad, the last thing he wanted to say to me that he wanted me to hear was, "Hopefully I leave this world with you knowing that I did my best for you in the end. Never forget that I love you and care about your achievements, but you are loved for who you are, not what you achieve." And there's a psalm that says that God is the father to the fatherless, that God is a defender to the widow, and that He places the lonely in families. And so when I came here to Rise, that was God putting me, I was lonely, and He put me in that family that I needed. Because I've got God with me, I experienced that lovingness of a father in my life, even though I don't technically have it here with me. no matter how lonely I feel and no matter how unloved I ever feel in my life, I know that I have a perfect Father up in heaven who is my family and who loves me for who I am and not what I achieve.